Cutting down trees is necessary to produce wood for construction, paper and other application, but logging and other activities that kill trees can potentially lead to negative impact on ecosystem and the environment as a whole. Large-scale tree cutting can lead to deforestation. Plants create oxygen and absorb greenhouse gases. The destruction of trees may therefore encourage global warming. Changing temperatures can alter which organizations can survive in an ecosystem. Cutting trees can result in loss of habitats for animal species, which can harm the ecosystem. 70% of the earth, land animals and plants live in the forest, and many cannot survive the deforestation that destroys their homes. About a dozen different species go extinct. Sotuma Sere community in Jimara districts embarks on a tree planting exercise as a way of preserving their heritage and promoting peace. The Sotuma Sere Development Association planted over 1,500 trees of different variety across Sotuma Sere community in Jimara, Upper River region. The exercise is designed to preserve the cultural heritage of eco-friendly living and peaceful neighborliness. The planting exercise reinforced the village green protective belt against the fire outbreak, cattle tracks to prevent further conflicts between farmers and herdsmen. During the exercise, Mr. Abubakar Sankano, a descendant of Sere Sankano, a Sarahule cleric and advisor to Musa Molo, the then king of Fuladu, narrates the importance of the exercise.
This exercise is about reinforcing what our ancestors did. When the village was being established by our great-grandfather Sere Sankano, who got the royal permit from Musa Molo to establish a community between Sarajata and up to River Gambia. So when we are growing up, we realized that this part is part of the cattle track. So that there's no conflict between farmers and cattle rearers. So this is something we grew reinforcing every year, and because of deforestation and also this forest timber logging, it has been depleted over the years. So we as the current generation in charge of the community, we see it as a need to reinforce this reserve, because we have spots of reserve which the ancestors said that they has to be protected, and then in our development we consider them. So this is one of those exercises that all the community comes together, we plant more trees so that it can remain green, serve as a passage for animals, and also people can use it for relaxation and also for medicinal purpose, because most of these trees, they have medicinal value. So basically it's all part of making sure that there's sustainable, eco-friendly living in our community. Yeah, indeed. In those days, agroforestry was very important. There's a lot of wild fruits we used to enjoy. We used to spend most of our childhood here from primary school. We go for hunting, we chase animals. So there was always this close proximity. You can get wild fruits, which they are very nutritious. Some of them are disappearing, but we realize that they are useful. Like this dahar that the people use, the women used to go and they'll just pick it and hear. So there's a lot of things that we are lost, but we realize that they are becoming valuable. So and that's why we realized that we have to reinforce. When we are growing, it was easy. This place was a thick forest. In those days, you can just come pick anything that is wild fruit, which is edible, which is nutritious. We take that, but we realized that they've been disappearing. And with this planting and with this we've seen that contrast. There's a lot of malnutrition, and there's a lot of diarrhea, constipation, because the type of fruits we eat. But some of these wild fruits, they are nutritious, they are very good, and that's why we feel that we have to revitalize some of those positive heritages. First of all, is to educate the young people. I see there's a lot of young people here. We try to explain the history for them. We're having a population density, the population growing of all the Sotuma Sere cluster. It is the most densely populated community. And while the population is growing, we are trying to remind them that these are some of the ancestral areas that are the reserve, and we have to protect them and find ways of living it. As you can see, development is coming, but this is like a buffer. Farming is there, so we are trying to incorporate the young, so that they can grow with that culture of environmental responsibility. That even when they are building houses or when they are farming, they have to consider that, okay, we don't have to chop all the trees, we have to leave a reserve. So we are learning also from the mistakes of Combo, Greater Banjul area, where people were rushing to build everywhere. We don't want to. We want our community, Sotuma Sere, to be the green lung of Jimara. As we can see, we are between 3 forest parks. We have the Sibukuroto Forest Park on our river bank. We have the Helakunda Forest Park, which is serving as a buffer between us and Seni Kandi and the other community. We have the Gambisara Forest Park. And this is something that is a good, unique selling proposition that we want to use. And we also have an ecotourism project on our border to Kanyube. So all this is now coming, so we have to create and balance. And there are historical sites here, ancestral footprints. The weather it is wet now. If not, I'll take you there. You see there are wolf groves, there are ancestral footprints, which are archaeological, important historical archaeological sites. And we are trying to educate the young people about it, on how to preserve all those things. That's, we should not rush. We should learn from the mistake of Kombo and Greater Banjul. Let's not chop all the trees. Let's not rush. And I'll encourage people to go into sustainable agriculture. We realize that, the mud, like, in our community, you have a lot of mud, pottery. We use that one to build houses, and we have modern cement. But, let's just try to be live eco-friendly lifestyle. This is what I'm going to encourage everybody. We are setting the examples, and we want everybody to protect the environment. Try to develop yourself, but not at the expense of the environment, because you are also holding this environment in trust for the next generation.
There are many environmental benefits of planting a tree. Strategically, planting trees around your home can have tremendous benefits on the environment. Not only will you help restore life quality in your community, but contribute positively to the environment and help fight climate change. Therefore, planting a beautiful tree is always a good idea. Understanding the need for coming together as a unifying body to strategically organize the dwellers of the community in order to harness potential and to contribute their quota to national development, the youths envisage a potentially developed community, thereby initiated a $10 project. Mr. Mohamed Sankano explains the nitty-gritty of the project.
This tree planting exercise is part of our Sotuma Sere Development Association projects. We have many projects ranging from dumping sites. We created 10 dumping sites in the village, though we created the association just 6 months ago. 10 dumping sites with rules and regulations. We have to clean the village every 3 months. Okay, community market is also part of our project, but we said that in our action plan by August, we'll be planting over 300 trees. Thank God right now we seek donation until we have more than 1,300 trees that we are planting today. This tree planting exercise is part of Sotuma Sere Development Association projects. We are targeting the surroundings of Sotuma Sere. Right now, why do we choose this only place? This place was built the same day, given to the youths of the village, that it belongs to the village. Cattle rearers used to pass it by. But even though no cutting, no other things. So we want to make afforestation, to planting more trees. That's why we make this place as our target. Yes, in order to secure the village, like wind storms, to secure the village, like when the rain is coming, people are having destruction like wind disaster and other issues. So we believe that the tree planting will help us sort out that. We have already made the sustainability plan for the projects already. We already have an association whereby they will target the planting. We have trees, sticks, where we will be surrounding the trees, and that team will be monitoring the trees all the time. Even the dry season, they will come and be checking the trees. And that team will also we have a borehole here whereby in the dry season, those people are ready to water the plants and to secure it and to replant the fences that are damaged. That team is already in stand.
Women play a big role in the sustainability of any community. Unfortunately, for so many years, their importance have been overlooked. However, that has been changing due to the empowerment of women and girls in the community as part of the community development process. Nowadays, more and more people are starting to appreciate that while they are often tasked with just household rules, they can do a lot more. Women and girls within the community stunned this outskirt of Sotuma Sere to participate in this exercise.
Ya kendi kai bon parce que ni wendinya Sotuma Sere develop almen kunya no gangu itoda ngani Red Cross dingiranga ona leona tawe nungani ra Red Cross dunko invite nungani kendi kai o ganuri o ya garu ado yugu prona Sotuma denge kani ke arana hangi toda ngani siri sasa iteganta jaman kuno gonde kawe nga benya jaman kuno gonde ado ka bonondi ndenga benya jaman ke da siri kyani otona itunti ongona itunti kamani keno de mana puru ano kompo kunta khano ngona kompo benu sigindi ado ko daban kunta tampini ona siraw kanu kita siraw kebe garatu nantola hay mo be kamane keno de matikenga gilille ke ka kare soba nganda ga yaloro kanu siana ko minja ngunsura hosni minja nyanti dangani ina londa ga ititira ngona ke teti kumbani anyano ya dangani na hanga debe keno gondiero kunni.
Does the forest have a future? The forest is in transition. Change is everywhere. Sotuma knows where the forest has been, but it has much clear vision of where it is going historically. Sotuma Sere used to be the resting camp for warriors during the pre-colonial time of Musa Moro. The name Sotuma is derived from Sewotumo, meaning moments of joy. The village is well known for traditional handicrafts such as pottery. For generations, women from Sotuma collect sand and clay from the customary furrows from the bank of River Gambia to connect the traditional craft to ecosystem. The Gambia Tourism Board is building the Sotuma Sere near the new settlement of Sotuma Sambakoi within the Sotuma Sere catchment area. The organizing secretary of the organization said the exercise is no longer tree planting but tree growing.
As we are today, to plant trees around the outskirts of the village and the former forest which our grandfathers have formed since. Then after here, we'll be going there to the forest where we will only plant malina, no mahogany, only malinas. Planting trees is very important. It's special about this windstorm. So if you don't plant trees through our outskirts, so when the wind comes, many compounds, their homes, they will be homeless beginning of the rain season and within the rain season. So we want to put a stop to that.
Understanding one history depicts who they are. Sotuma Sere community is one to be reckoned in the test for development. Project pioneered and sponsored by Sotuma Sere, both in the Gambia and diaspora.